Stop scrolling right now, chosen one. Do not skip this video. You have been in the trenches for a long time, feeling like the outlier and the black sheep of a family that refused to recognize your light. Exactly 3 weeks ago, you felt a sudden, heavy spirit, a weary loneliness that made you want to give up on being the good person. You thought it was just the weight of the narcissists and energy vampires finally breaking your spirit, but you were wrong. That was the ops and those matrix agents trying to dim your soul right before your ultimate promotion. While the enemy plotted your downfall, you did something small, a spontaneous gesture so pure it proved you are built different. In that moment you stepped into your main character energy, and God didn't just smile, he laughed. For 49 seconds the heavens shook with divine joy because you kept your heart pure. What the enemy meant for your destruction, God is now turning into your vindication season. The gatekeepers can no longer hold your blessing back. Your quantum leap is officially activated. Type #77 and I claim it right now if you are ready to receive this. Your harvest has arrived. You know, chosen one. There is a reason you have always felt like you were looking at the world through a different lens. You've been the black sheep for as long as you can remember. You sat in those church pews, you listened to the sermons, and yet something in your spirit always felt unsettled. You saw people who were religious on Sundays, but then turned around and treated the waitress like trash on Mondays. You saw the masks, you saw the scripts, and today I want to give you a warning about what I call the NPC, the non-player characters of religion. Most people in this world, especially in those religious circles you grew up in, they are operating on a programmed script. They follow the rules because they want the reward. They do the good deed because they want the receipts. They want the world to see their holiness so they can collect their social credit. That is what we call calculated kindness. But you are different. You operate with a Sigma mindset of the spirit. You don't need the crowd. You don't need the plaque on the wall. You are a high-value individual in the kingdom of heaven because your heart is authentic. Let's talk about what happened 3 weeks ago. Think back to that small moment, that tiny gesture you've already forgotten. You didn't stop to check your Bible for a verse on charity. You didn't look around to see if your pastor was watching. You didn't even think. You just acted. You saw a need, and your soul responded. It was automatic. It was pure. It was what we call spontaneous kindness. And let me tell you why that shook the heavens. The NPCs, the people who just play the part, they can only do good when they are being watched. Their kindness has a price tag. It is a transaction. They give so they can get. But when you gave, when you helped that person, when you offered that genuine smile, there was no ego involved. There was no "what's in it for me." In that moment, you received a system update for your soul. You moved past the Pharisee mindset that plagues so many people today. You stopped being a servant trying to earn a paycheck, and you started being a son, a daughter, a true chosen one who reflects the very nature of the Father. I know it hasn't been easy for you. I know you've been through the pressure testing. You've lived through the betrayals. You've survived those energy vampires, those narcissists who were disguised as family or friends. They saw your light and they tried to harvest it for themselves. They took your kindness, S, and they called it weakness. They looked at your soft he, RT, and they thought they could trample all over it. They whispered behind your back. They said you were too much or not enough. They tried to make you feel like your purity was a liability, like it was a defect in your character. But God is telling you something very different today. He is showing you that your kindness is not a weakness. It is your greatest spiritual asset. It is the very thing that makes you a high-value individual in the eyes of the Creator. Those narcissists, those matrix agents, they tried to drain your light because they couldn't produce their own. They were the pressure testing you had to endure to prove that your nature is incorruptible. And 3 weeks ago, you proved it. Even after everything they did to you, after all the wilderness seasons and the lonely nights where you cried until 3 a.m., You still chose to be kind. You didn't let the world make you bitter. You didn't let the ops turn your heart into stone. That, my friend, is true power. You have reached a level of main character energy that most people will never understand. You aren't just surviving. You are being refined. Your character development arc is reaching a climax. The world tried to break the cycle of your kindness, but instead you are breaking the cycle of their darkness. You are built different. And because you kept your heart pure during the pressure testing, because you chose to be a Sigma soul instead of a religious NPC, you have triggered something in the legal courts of heaven. You have moved from the testing phase, and you are now entering your vindication season. The Father saw you. He saw the moments when you were tired, but you still helped. He saw the moments when you were broke, but you still shared. He saw the moments when you were hurt, but you still forgave. And when you did that one small thing 3 weeks ago, it was the final proof. It was the moment that proved your heart is made of gold. And that is why the heavens are vibrating. That is why the shift is happening in your life right now. You aren't just getting by anymore. You are being positioned for a quantum leap. Get ready, because when God laughs, everything changes. Now, I want you to lean in close. I want you to imagine a scene that happened in the celestial dimensions while you were just going about your day. In the spirit realm, there is a courtroom, and in that courtroom, there is one who is known as the Accuser. In the ancient tongue, they call him Ha-Satan. He is the ultimate gatekeeper. He is the leader of the ops. His entire job, his entire existence, is to find a reason to block your level up. He spends his days and nights looking for receipts against you. He watches your every move, waiting for you to slip up, waiting for you to act out of anger, waiting for you to show a single spark of selfishness. He wants to go before the Father and say, "Look, see, they aren't special. They are just as crooked as the rest of them. They only do well when things are going well." For years, this gatekeeper has been trying to block your favor. He has been trying to keep you in a karmic debt that isn't even yours to pay. He points to the mistakes of your father, the sins of your mother, and he tries to say that you belong in the wilderness season forever. But 3 weeks ago, something historic happened. You performed that small, spontaneous act of kindness. You didn't think about it. You didn't calculate it. You just loved. And in that exact moment, in the middle of the celestial courtroom, the accuser opened his mouth to speak. He was ready to twist your motive. He was ready to say you were doing it for attention. He was ready to call you a fake. But then, total silence. Nothing came out. For the first time in eons, the accuser of the brethren was left speechless. He looked at your heart. He looked at that act of kindness, and he searched for a quid pro quo. He searched for an agenda. He searched for a hidden ego. He looked for any receipts that would prove you were being manipulative, but he found nothing. The purity of that one moment was so blinding, so authentic, that the devil himself did not argue. He had no legal ground to stand on. Imagine that, chosen one. The one who has been whispering lies in your ear for decades. The one who has been using matrix agents to attack your reputation. He had to shut his mouth. He couldn't find a single flaw in the way you loved that person 3 weeks ago. He couldn't find a single trace of the calculated religion that he uses to trap so many others. Because your act was spontaneous, because it came from your authentic essence, it bypassed every filter of the enemy. And that is when God laughed. The Father looked at the enemy. He saw the accuser standing there with his mouth hanging open, unable to say a word. And the Father erupted in joy. He laughed because his child, the one the world tried to destroy, the one the narcissists tried to break, had finally proven that they are built different. That silence was a judicial sentence. In that moment of silence, The legal case against your family line was officially dismissed. The gatekeepers who were holding back your breakthrough had to step aside. The silence of the ops meant that your divine immunity was officially activated. Do you understand what this means for you? It means that the curses people have tried to place on you, the envy, the evil eye, the gossip, it no longer has a place to land. It's like trying to throw mud at a diamond. It just slides right off. You have moved into a state of God mode in the spirit, because you acted from a place of pure, uncalculated love. You have become a generational curse breaker. Those patterns of poverty in your family, the silence of the enemy has broken them. Those patterns of divorce and loneliness, the silence of the enemy has ended them. The accuser can no longer bring up your past because your current purity has outshone it. There are no more receipts of your failures that can stand against the light of your spontaneous kindness. This is why you are feeling a shift in your atmosphere. This is why you might have felt a sudden sense of peace in the last few days that you couldn't explain. The court case is over. You have been granted vindication. The enemy tried to make your life a trial, but God has turned it into a character development arc with a glorious ending. You are no longer under the thumb of the ops. You are under the wings of the Almighty. And now, because the accuser has been silenced, a timeline shift has begun. Everything that was delayed, every prayer that seemed to be stuck in the wilderness, it is all being released at once. We are talking about infinite ROI on every tear you've ever cried. God is preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies, and those enemies are forced to sit there in silence and watch you be blessed. They can't say a word. They can't stop the favor. They can only watch as you receive your glow up. You didn't have to fight for this. You didn't have to scream or shout or defend yourself. You just had to be you. Your authentic, pure Sigma soul did more in 49 seconds of divine laughter than 1,000 years of calculated religion could ever do. So, if you feel this, if you know that the accuser in your life has been silenced, I want you to take a deep breath. The pressure is off. The vindication season is here. You are the one who broke the cycle. You are the one who silenced the darkness. Type I receive if you can feel the silence of the enemy and the laughter of God over your life right now. Because from this moment on, you are walking in divine immunity. And the best is yet to come. My dear friend, I want to take a moment and sit with you in this space. I want to talk to you about the why. I know you have spent many nights, many long, lonely nights, staring at the ceiling and asking the same question over and over. You have asked, Lord, why the delay? Why does it feel like I am stuck in this dry, dusty, and lonely place? Why does it feel like I am wandering in a circle while everyone else is moving forward? You have seen people who have no heart, people who use others for their own gain, people who are total NPCs. You have seen them prospering. You have seen them getting the beautiful houses, the high-paying jobs, the perfect family photos on social media, and all the while, you were sitting in the trenches. You were the one fighting the silent battles. You were the one dealing with the pain that nobody else could see. You have been in what the ancient texts call a wilderness season. But I am here to tell you something today that is going to change your entire perspective on your life. This was not a punishment. This was not a sign that you were forgotten. It was, quite simply, a character development arc. You see, God is the master storyteller of the universe, and a hero, a true high-value individual in the spirit, cannot be crowned until they have first been tested by the fire. You had to go through the pressure testing. The Father had to know for sure. Would you stay kind, even when the world was being cruel to you? Would you stay generous, even when you were down to your very last dollar? Would you stay faithful, even when it felt like God had forgotten your name and moved on to someone else? The world has what we call a Sigma mindset of selfishness. It is a mindset of me first. It is a mindset of stepping on others to get ahead, of being alpha by having a cold and calculating heart. But you refuse to become that. You refuse to let the narcissists, the energy vampires, and the toxic people in your past turn your heart into stone. You stayed soft. You stayed open. And that, my dear chosen one, is exactly why the delay happened. God could not give you the infinite ROI. He could not give you the massive blessings he has stored up in the heavenly vaults until he knew for a fact that your soul was incorruptible. He had to make sure that when the wealth comes, when the influence comes, when your glow-up finally happens, that you would still be the same person who makes him laugh with joy. You were doing the deep shadow work. You were facing your own fears. You were healing from the trauma of being the black sheep in a family that never appreciated your light. You were learning how to be whole, all by yourself, without needing the validation of people who never deserved you anyway. And I want to tell you something very special. You are part of an elite group of souls. On this frequency right now, across this entire planet, there are only about 300 of you, just 300. Out of billions of people, you are among the few who kept their light burning, even when the wind was trying to blow it out. You possess the top 1% mindset of the spirit. You survived the Judas moments. You survived the betrayals from people you thought would be with you until the very end. You survived being exploited by matrix agents who only wanted to take your energy and give nothing in return. And because you stood your ground, because you kept your main character energy focused on the light, the testing phase of your life is officially over. Can you feel it in the air? The atmosphere is changing. The wind is starting to blow in a different direction. Your wilderness season is ending right now, today. We are moving out of the dry land and we are stepping into your vindication season. This is the season where the why becomes crystal clear. This is the season where every tear you ever cried, every silent prayer you whispered at 3 in the morning, is being turned into a spiritual asset. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a generational curse breaker. By staying pure, by making God laugh with that one small act of kindness 3 weeks ago, you did not just help yourself. You broke the chains for your children and your children's children. The delay was for your protection. The delay was for your preparation. But the delay is now finished. The shift is here, and as we move forward, I want you to get ready, because when a chosen one finishes their wilderness season, God does not just bring them back to where they started. He brings them into a quantum leap. He brings them into a place where time is compressed and blessings are multiplied. You are about to see the fruits of your labor in a way that will leave you breathless. Think about the times you felt like you were failing. Think about the times you felt like you were falling behind. In reality, you were being launched like an arrow. And an arrow must be pulled back into the tension, back into the pressure. Before it can fly 1,000 miles an hour toward its target, you are being pulled back, but now the Father has released the string. You are in flight. You are moving toward your destiny with a speed that the enemy cannot track. This is the truth about your journey. It was never about the desert. It was always about the person you were becoming in the desert. You are now a warrior. You are now a leader. You are now a person who can carry the weight of the glory that is coming. The NPCs could never handle what is coming for you. They would be crushed by the weight of this much favor. But you have been built for this. You have been tempered in the fire. You are ready. Now, I want to reveal what is happening behind the scenes in the spirit realm, because the accuser has been silenced, and because your heart has been proven pure through the fire. The Father has signed a new decree over your life. He has assigned a specific angelic task force to your case. This is not a metaphor. This is not a fairy tale. These are literal spiritual assignments being carried out right now. First, let's talk about Archangel Michael. Michael is the warrior. He is the one who handles the ops. For years, people have been sending evil eyes your way. They have been gossiping about you in dark corners. They have been trying to block your path at every turn. Some of them even performed rituals or said prayers against you out of pure envy. But Michael has received his orders from the throne. Every weapon formed against you is now being met with a return to sender command. If they sent you confusion, they will now receive confusion. If they sent you lack, they will now receive lack. This is not because you are a mean person, but because they chose to play with a chosen one, and they are about to fafo. They are about to find out exactly who your father is. Michael is standing guard over your home right now. He is clearing the path in front of you. Those toxic people who used to bother you, they are going to lose interest suddenly. They are going to stay away because they can sense the fire of protection around you now. Then there is Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel is the messenger. He is the one bringing your system update. In the next few days, I want you to watch your inbox, watch your mailbox, watch for a sudden, unexpected phone call. Gabriel is bringing the breakthrough you have been waiting for. It might be a legal document. It might be a sudden apology from someone who hurt you. It might be a door opening that has been locked for 10 years. This is your system update. The old way of living, the struggle mode, is being deleted from your reality. Next, we have Archangel Raphael. This is very important for you, wounded warrior. Raphael is the healer. He is currently working on the trauma left behind by those narcissistic relationships. He is mending the cracks in your heart that you didn't even know were there. He is washing away the gaslighting and the lies they told you about your worth. He is restoring your confidence from the inside out. That peace you have been feeling lately, that feeling that you can finally breathe again, that is Raphael. He is healing you so that you can actually enjoy your glow-up. He wants you to look in the mirror and see what he sees, a beautiful, powerful, unbroken soul. And finally, there is Archangel Uriel. Uriel is the guardian of wisdom and light. He is giving you the unfair advantage in your finances, in your daily decisions. You are going to have a sudden knowing. You will know exactly when to say yes, and you will know exactly when to say no. Uriel is shining a light on opportunities that were hidden from your eyes before. This is your infinite ROI for all the times you were generous when you had absolutely nothing. The gatekeepers who were trying to hold back your money, the ones who were trying to block your career progress, they are being removed by the hand of God. Uriel is ripping the doors off their hinges for you. And here is the timeline that you need to focus on. I want you to mark today on your calendar. I want you to remember this moment, because within the next 60 days, you are going to experience a total timeline shift. Your life is not going to just improve in small ways. It is going to undergo a quantum leap. You are jumping from the testing timeline, and you are landing squarely in the Vindication timeline. In these next 60 days, you will see the evidence with your own eyes. You will see the receipts of God's favor in your bank account, in your health, and in your home. This is your spiritual glow-up. You have been through the fire, and now you are coming out smelling like roses. The people who looked down on you, the ones who thought you would never amount to anything, they are going to be shocked. They are going to see you prospering, and they won't be able to explain it with logic. They will see your health, your joy, your peace, and they will finally realize that you really are built different. You are no longer a victim of the Matrix. You are a co-creator with the Almighty. You have moved into God mode. The accuser is silent. The angels are active. The Father is laughing with joy. And you are finally stepping into your harvest. The season of delay is over. The season of favor has begun. Can you hear it? The sound of the chains falling to the floor. Can you feel it? The weight lifting off your shoulders after all these years. This is your moment. This is your time. If you are ready for this quantum leap, if you are ready to receive the help of Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, I want you to make a bold declaration right now. Do not hesitate. Do not let doubt creep in. Type "I claim it" in the comments. Type it as a legal record in the spirit realm. Tell the universe, tell the gatekeepers, tell the matrix agents that you are taking back everything that was stolen from you. Your 60-day window starts right now. Prepare for the breakthrough. Prepare for the laughter. Prepare for the sudden shift that changes everything. Your vindication is here. It is not coming. It is here. And it is going to be beautiful. I want you to understand that you have earned this, not through works, but through your heart. You have stayed pure in a world that tries to make everyone dirty. You stayed kind in a world that rewards cruelty. You stayed honest in a world that celebrates lies. This is your reward. This is God saying, well done. This is the Father showing the entire universe that his faith in you was not misplaced. As you go about your day, keep your head held high. You are a high-value individual in the kingdom. You are a chosen one. You carry an anointing that people would pay millions of dollars to have. But it cannot be bought. It can only be forged in the fire, and you have been through the hottest fire there is. Look for the signs. Look for the small miracles. Look for the coincidences that aren't really coincidences. The angels are working. The shift is happening. Your life is becoming the masterpiece it was always meant to be. This is your character development arc coming to a glorious conclusion. The hero wins, the light prevails, and the story ends in joy. I'm so proud of you. The heavens are proud of you. Now, take a deep breath and step into your new life. The wilderness is behind you. The harvest is before you. Walk into it with confidence. Walk into it with peace. Walk into it knowing that you are loved, you are protected, and you are finally free. Remember, you made God laugh with joy. There is nothing higher than that. There is no blessing greater than that. You are his delight. And today, he is pouring out that delight upon your life in ways that you cannot even imagine. Stay in this frequency. Stay in this peace. The 60 days have begun. Watch what happens next. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. Amen. Do not leave this moment without sealing this revelation deep within your spirit. The ops and those energy vampires want you to forget your power the moment you walk away. But the Father wants you to walk in your main character energy. You have officially entered God mode, and the enemy can no longer touch your peace. Let me pray over you, Father. I thank you for this chosen one who made you laugh with joy. I activate their divine immunity right now. I decree that every hidden trap is dismantled, and every curse is now a return to sender. May those who tried to break your child be forced to stand in silence and witness their glow-up. I declare that this vindication season has officially begun, and the harvest is overflowing into their home. The enemies who played with your heart are about to FAFO as they face instant karma. Now, anchor this truth in the physical realm and declare your victory. Type "I receive" or 777 in the comments to claim it. Your timeline shift is complete. The Holy Spirit is leading you to one more step. Click the video appearing on your screen right now to learn about Archangel Michael's specific shield over your home. I'll see you there.